Wow, it's already June. That was quick. I'm terribly sorry. This video is way overdue. But anyway, for Christmas last year, I went on holiday to the UK, and here's some of the stuff I did 6 months ago. So, when we arrived, we settled at an Airbnb. It was pretty nice and cozy. And not long after we got there, we actually met a famous UK celebrity. No, not Gordon Ramsay. No, not Simon Cowell. It was Paddington Bear. He was a nice guy. And the town was quite nice. Like, it was pretty nice to be able to just, like, walk to whatever shop you wanted to go to. Like, it was all just walking distance. It also got pretty foggy sometimes. It looked a bit like Silent Hill. It was pretty cool. Like, here's some footage of the town with some Silent Hill music playing over it. It actually fits really well. So yeah, we met up with some family and we had a nice Christmas party, and for New Year's we set off some fireworks. That was pretty nice. Oh, and also at one point in the town we saw a guy playing Beatles music on a violin while standing on a tightrope. That's not something you see every day. And speaking of the Beatles, we actually went to Liverpool to go on a Beatles tour. Like, there was a cafe full of Beatles stuff, and a shop full of Beatles merchandise. So yeah, during the tour we went on a bus around Liverpool and saw some, like, locations from their songs, like Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, etc. We also saw the birthplaces of George Harrison and John Lennon. Then we saw where Paul McCartney used to live when he was young, but I don't think we saw Ringo's old home for some reason. Poor Ringo. So yeah, the next we went to a restaurant, then we visited the Cavern Club, which, as you can imagine, had a lot of Beatles memorabilia. But anyway, about halfway through our trip to the UK, we instead went to Croatia, and predictably it was a lot sunnier there. Which, I mean, like, anywhere sunnier than the UK, so that's not surprising. And Croatia had a lot of cats in the streets, and some of them were very friendly. That was pretty nice. So yeah, we did quite a few things there, like we saw an old castle, we went to a few restaurants. We were there for about a week and a half, and it was quite nice. But yeah, then we headed back to the UK. One of the first things we did when we got back was we drove by some mountains, and we even saw some snow. And I'm glad we saw some snow, because that was like one of the main things I wanted to do when we got there. We also saw a sheep walking down the road. Another one of the things we saw was this horror attraction / history lesson sort of thing, where it was all dark and they had like actors pretending to be from different time periods to teach us about historical events, like Guy Fawkes and stuff. They also interacted with the audience quite a lot. At one point, I got put on trial in court, and they revealed that I was actually a French spy. So then they told me to do a French accent, and so I just did an impression of the French narrator from SpongeBob. That was pretty funny. Then after that, we saw a museum full of trains. That was really cool. So that's pretty much all of like the big stuff we did while we were there. But another thing I want to talk about is how I kind of went on a movie marathon. So here's some of the movies I saw. Shawshank Redemption, Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Matrix, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Godfather, Groundhog Day, Jaws, Ghostbusters, Gladiator, Saving Private Ryan, and Psycho. We watched all of those at home, of course, but at one point we went to the cinema to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And honestly, that was probably my favorite movie I saw there. It was really, really good. I feel kinda dumb for saying that, but like, come on. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was peak cinema. And also I saw some movies on the planes to and from the UK. The movies were 2001: A Space Odyssey, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Inside Out 2, Encanto, and The Wild Robot. I also got halfway through watching Elemental, but unfortunately the plane landed before I could finish the film. And out of all of the movies I saw on the plane, The Wild Robot was definitely my favorite. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the trip. Again, I'm really, really sorry it took such a long time for me to make this. More videos are coming soon though, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching.